Hi there, my name's Andrew and welcome to this, my latest IELTS video. What is the purpose of this video? In this video, I'm going to show you how you can use some more complex grammar to get a better score in your IELTS speaking exam, to get a score of 7 or above. Also in this video, there's going to be a bit of a competition to win a completely free half-hour live IELTS speaking lesson with me, a qualified English teacher, to help you with the exam. In order to enter that competition, you will have to demonstrate that you have understood this particular lesson. So there'll be more details of that later in this video, so look out for that. Now, on with the video. This is about a very common type of IELTS question. And the common type of IELTS question that occurs in part 3 of the exam are questions about change, things that have changed. Common examples. How has your hometown changed since you were a child? How has the internet changed our lives? How has music, art, teaching, travel, you name it, changed in the past 10, 20, 30, 712 years? So a question, which tense has been used in these questions? You can answer in a poll by clicking the letter I that is going to appear in the top right-hand corner of the screen. And I'll give you a few seconds to do that before we move on to the next slide. So, did you guess correctly? The questions, they were asked in the present perfect tense. So, here below is an answer that would not be good enough to get you a 7. The question: how has your hometown changed in recent years? An answer: well, my town is now popular with tourists. It wasn't before. They built a new airport, and I think that's why so many tourists come here now. So, there's an answer. That answer has no mistakes in it, but it's not enough to get you a 7. In your IELTS speaking exam. It's not the type of answer that gets a 7. And in the next slide, we're going to have a look at what's wrong with that type of answer. What was wrong with the answer? Well, the answer was too simple in various ways. First of all, it only used the present simple tense and the simple past tense. Secondly, the answer wasn't really detailed enough or long enough for an answer to a part 3 question. The examiner wants to see you develop your answer more than that. So, how to give a much better answer? We're going to use the present perfect tense and the third conditional. Remember, these questions are asked in the present perfect tense, these questions about change. So that gives you a useful cue or indication that you should be using the present perfect tense, not the present simple tense, to answer this question. And here I'm also going to show you how to use the third conditional. Throughout this video, where we're using the present perfect tense, we have this highlighted in blue, and the third conditional highlighted in purple. And in this answer, that is the case. So, the question: how has your hometown changed? Well, the strangest thing has happened. Over the past few years, my hometown has become really popular with tourists. There might be a few reasons for this. For one, the town council redeveloped the area around the port, and there are loads of great shops and restaurants there now. And secondly, a new airport was built, and that's made it easier for tourists to get here. The whole thing has been a huge surprise. If you'd asked me 20 years ago, I'd never have predicted that this would happen. So, the parts in blue, has happened, has become, that has made it easier, all present perfect tense. The bits in purple, if you'd asked me, I'd never have predicted, all the third conditional. And these two constructions go together very nicely to answer these kind of change questions in part 3 of your IELTS exam. So, how to form and when to use the present perfect tense. So, you should use the present tense of the verb have, I have, he has, we have, etc. and the past participle of the main verb. For example, I have been to Paris. I have lost my keys. He has drawn a cat. You should use this tense to describe things in the past that have a connection to right here, right now. Because, for example, something has just finished. For example, the drawing of the cat. He has drawn a cat is something we might say as a little boy hands over the picture that he has just finished drawing. If you're talking about an experience, for example, I've been to Paris, or something that happened in the past which is still true now, or relevant now, or important now, as it affects situations now. For example, you've lost your keys in the past, so you can't get into your house now, so you say, oh, damn, I've lost my keys. So, how to form and when to use the third conditional. The form, you use had and the past participle in one part of the clause, and a conditional modal verb such as would, could, should, may, or might, plus the present tense of have and the past participle in part 2 of the clause. And the usage is that you use it to talk about an imaginary event in the past which never really happened. For example, if I had won the lottery, or if I'd won the lottery when I was 20, I would have drunk, or I'd have drunk and gambled so much that my life would now be ruined, just like our poor Pink Panther on the screen there. Okay. Here is another example of how we can use the combination of the present perfect simple tense and the third conditional to give a really good answer to this question. The question, how has music changed in the past 20 years? The answer, music has changed enormously, mainly because of the internet. If you'd told a megastar like David Bowie or Sting 20 years ago that all of their music could be obtained very cheaply or even for free, and often illegally, they'd have been horrified. But that's exactly what happens nowadays, thanks to things like Spotify. Equally, if you'd been an aspiring pop star 30 years ago, you'd have had no chance of becoming popular, no chance, without being signed to a record label. But now you can just stick your stuff on YouTube, and if people like it, you can get crowdsource funding to finance production, which is an amazing change. So, here's your challenge, the competition for today. I would like you to write your own answer to the question below and post it in the comments section below this video. Make sure you use the present perfect tense and the third conditional in the way that I have been showing you to answer the question. The question is, how have smartphones changed our lives in the past 20 years. Now, the reward. If you also email me your answer to this address, englishwithandrew@virginmedia.com, then, if your sentence is correct, and only if it's correct, I will enter you into a draw to win a free 30-minute IELTS speaking lesson with me over Skype. But you must also post it as a comment below this video. So, finally, how to get more videos, help, live lessons, etc. Subscribe here or click on my photo, which should be appearing on the screen about now, to subscribe to get more videos. You can see my Facebook page at this address for daily posts about useful nouns, verbs, phrasal verbs, and adjectives that you could use in your IELTS exam. You can contact me at the email address I gave you before, or my website, englishwithandrew.com, to arrange live lessons. If you have any questions about anything in this video, please post them as comments below this video, and I promise I will answer them all. In my next video, we're going to start to look at several different common IELTS topics, and we're going to look at how to answer part 1, part 2, and part 3 questions about each of those common topics. Okay, so I look forward to seeing you next time. Thank you for watching today, and goodbye.